Simon Bridges.
Speaker, I don't know what the honourable member was talking about, but I can tell from even this distance that member needs to brush his teeth, Mr. Speaker. But in this party, unlike the party on the other side, we are focused on the things that matter. On the economy, on educational standards, on doing something about crime that Labor ignored. And what is the Labor Party? What are they focused on? Well, let's have a look at it. Let's have a look at what they're focused on. VSM. They are absolutely focused on VSM. Not a word I like, but filibustering other members' bills. Sorry, I can hear something there.
Just wait.
Other members' bills, so that we don't get to VSM, Mr. Speaker. Well, let me tell you, the people of Tauranga, the people of Rotorua, the people of West Coast Tasman, they don't even know what VSM is, Mr. Speaker. They don't even, that's right, some of them think it's a contagious disease they get from members on the other side of the House. They don't know what it is, Mr. Speaker, but somehow that's where all the energy on the other side of the House goes. So why is Labor putting all of their efforts into that bill?
Why?
Well, it could be, if we were generous, we could say, well, is it principle? Well, no, because the principles at stake in that bill are freedom and choice, actually National Party values. That's why we're putting that bill ahead. I've concluded, Mr. Speaker, the reason they put that bill forward is solely politics, Mr. Speaker. Purely, solely politics. Because we know on this side, it doesn't take much thinking, that actually on the other side of the House, their main, some would say their only training ground is in the universities. And student politics is base camp, is training camp for Labor Party politicians. We could go through them. Grant Robertson, of course, is probably the main one we can think of. President of one Michael Woodhouse in his time. It's Labor Party training ground. And so they don't want to stand up for freedom and choice. They are filibustering on that bill. And they are doing it purely because of politics, Mr. Speaker. And if you think about the Labor Party, and if I've learned anything in 2.5 years in this House, is that the Labor Party only ever focuses on politics. Actually, that was Helen Clark 101. It is everything is about the politics, and we see it in that bill. We also know the member opposite, well, he's interested in sports. The member Trevor Mallard is in a cycling competition. He's also in his spare time, I understand, meant to be campaign manager for the Labor Party. But why worry about that when you've got a sports competition to worry about? As one Cameron Slater has said, Duck really needs some anger management courses so he can concentrate on the campaign rather than fighting an asymmetrical war with a right-wing blogger he can't win, Mr. Speaker.
Asymmetrical war.
And yet that's where Labor Party at the moment is at. VSM, bills people don't understand, and cycling races that are asymmetrical and they can't win. And political stunts, as John Carter, I think, called them cunning stunts, Mr. Speaker. That's what we're seeing on the other side of the House. The SOE's referendum bill. And we've already established that actually because of their filibustering, that bill has absolutely no chance of coming before this House. As John Armstrong said in the paper, I think it was yesterday, Labor's private members' bill has about as much chance of becoming law as that famous rugby-playing country Namibia has of lifting the Rugby World Cup. Probably even less. But I tell you what, Mr. Speaker, New Zealand Labor has, unlike New Zealand Labor, I should say, Mr. Speaker, Namibia's Labor Party has at least, and you can check this on the internet, some chance of winning the next general election in their country, Mr. Speaker. So why is it? Why is it that they go forward with this bill, that they put this bill forward, the cheap politics of this bill? Why is it, particularly when if we look at it and we look at the Prime Minister, who has never sold a state asset, and we put him head to head with the leader of the Labour Party, who actually has in this House the best track record of selling state assets in this country. How many has he sold? Michael Woodhouse says. In his career, it's a pretty solid record. 17 state assets worth $9.49 billion. This is one Phil Goff. $9.49 billion. Maybe we should go through them. NZ Steel, Petrocorp, Health Computing Service, Development Finance Corporation, Post Office, Shipping Corp, Air New Zealand, Landcorp, Rural Banking, Finance, Government Printing. List goes on.
That's a great well done.
Point of order, the Honourable Trevor Mallard. Mr Speaker, pursuant to Speaker's Ruling 1677, taking the first opportunity in order to correct a statement I made with regard to the date of the resource consent when seeking leave to table a document.
Is this member seeking leave to make a personal explanation? Leave is sought to make a personal explanation. Is there any objection to that course of action? There is no objection.
Mr Speaker, in question time today, relying on documents provided or summary provided by the library, I indicated that the date of the resource consent was 1998. In fact, sir, it was June 1999.
Jacinda Ardern.
Mr Speaker,